start. So hello, everybody. Welcome to this exciting webinar. My name is Nick Neidl. I'm one of the main organizers of the Startup Germany tour, and I am a research associate at the Chamber of Industry and Commerce here in the city of Dortmund. And I'm the one who warmly welcome you to this exciting webinar with German Chambers, your gateway to reach more than 1 million companies. And I'm happy that I'm not alone today, because after my brief introduction, you will see wonderful colleagues of our chamber network who are able to show you a few important informations about our region, North Rhine-Westphalia, and specifically about certain cities and regions. And yeah, so hello, welcome. And yeah, first of all, I would like to answer this question: how can the German Chambers help international startups? That is why this webinar was created, to show you what role the German Chambers of Commerce are playing here in the Startup Germany tour, and in terms of international startups, or in supporting international startups. So we are talking about North Rhine-Westphalia, and in North Rhine-Westphalia we have 16 chambers of industry and commerce. So why 16 and why NRW? So a few of you already know that NRW is home to 18 million people. It's the biggest state in terms of population in Germany, and that's why we have so many business happening here in North Rhine-Westphalia. We have 29, or North Rhine-Westphalia has 29 cities with more than 1,000 inhabitants. Our economy of North Rhine-Westphalia contributes to 21% of total GDP in Germany. And yeah, that's the reason why we have so many business locations and business happening here in our region. And yeah, that's one reason why we have so many different chambers. And yeah, a few of them, or actually not a few of them, all of them, I can show you right now. So we have in the city of Aachen, we have an IHK. I will use IHK as the German abbreviation for Chamber of Industry and Commerce, because it's much easier to talk. And yeah, so we have in the city of Aachen an IHK with 28,000 members. In the region of the Sauerland, Arnsberg, an IHK with 33,000 member companies. In the city of Bonn, former capital city of Germany, 28,000 members. In the region of Detmold, 22,000 member companies. The Middle Rhine region, we have also an IHK with 75,000 members. The Middle Ruhr region in the city of Bochum, 30,000 member companies, and so on. And yeah, so you can see here also a few of our 16 chambers of industry and commerce. And yeah, a few of them are quite important for this Startup Germany tour, but I will show you afterwards. So what message do I want to tell you? The total amount of member companies in our region in North Rhine-Westphalia is more than 1 million members. So we have more than 1 million member companies located here in North Rhine-Westphalia, and you have seen right now our 16 chambers who are also representatives of their interest, or of the interest of these member companies. So now I would like to show you a little bit what are the main tasks of an IHK. So first of all, we are promoting the industrial and commercial economy in the certain regions. An IHK is the representation of the interest, or represents the interests of their member companies from the region. We are regulating the commercial and regional vocational training, so we have an educational mandate. Therefore, we are issuing regulations for journeymen and master craftsmen examinations. And last but not least, we execute then the final examinations of basic, advanced, and further training courses. But what's more important for you, we are also supporting the public authorities with recommendations, expert opinions, and reports. We are consulting and supporting startups, young entrepreneurs in all terms of business foundation. We are supporting furthermore companies in terms of foreign trade, so import, export issues, certificated stocks in all the terms of internationalization, and many more. So you can say that the Chambers of Industry and Commerce are a service provider for the regional economy. But what central services are we offering to you foreign startups? We are organizing events, projects, and workshops like this beautiful project, the Startup Germany Tour. We are initiators of this project since 6 years. So that's one of a big event we are organizing for supporting foreign startups and to get in touch with you. We are giving advice and information on all issues concerning settlement, setting up a business in North Rhine-Westphalia. So to all these questions, we are happy to help you. And that's also one thing we want to highlight during the Startup Germany Tour, that we as the Chambers of Industry and Commerce are there for you if you want to set up a business in North Rhine-Westphalia and in a specific city or region. Please reach out to us. We are happy to help. Furthermore, due to this whole amount of member companies, we can give you access to our great network. So to our member companies, to our accelerators, investors, and further institutions, which are located here in North Rhine-Westphalia, we have good connections and can get you easy access. And yeah, as well, we are helping, we can help you with issues regarding financing and funding, as well as legal and tax issues, even due to our great network. So if you have any questions, please write them in the chat and we will ask them after this webinar. And for sure, you can reach out to us. So as you can see here, the Startup Germany Tour project is initiated by the IHK of North Rhine-Westphalia, our German Chambers of Commerce Abroad network, our Association of German Chambers of Commerce, the IHKs in the Ruhr area, the IHK in Düsseldorf and in Cologne. So that's why, and that's our role in this Startup Germany Tour project. And yeah, here are our contact details when we are talking about our Dortmund Chamber of Commerce. And yeah, so that was just a brief introduction, and I hope it was not that yeah, it was a bit exciting for you, because these information are hardly to find, and even I think due to our project, yeah, this information and what the chambers are really doing is something that could be valuable to all of you. And yeah, and now we will look, or we will focus not now on the on our regional chambers of commerce, but we want to give you or we want to show you the access points for Germany, from Germany to the worldwide German Chambers of Commerce Abroad network. And I'm happy that Mrs. Kira Potowski is here with us, and he is from the Association of German Chambers of Commerce. And Kira, please, the screen is yours, and I think we are all excited to see what what the overall German Chamber of Commerce Abroad network is.
Thank you so much, Nick. Also, thank you very much for the invitation and a very warm welcome to our audience. My name is, as Nick said, Kira Potowski, and I'm the Director for Innovation, Startups and Sustainability within the Berlin-based mother house, kind to say, of the German chambers in Germany and abroad. Yeah, I would like to give you a very quick overview of, as already Nick mentioned, the German chamber network abroad. And just to have it a little bit better seen for you, I would like to share some, you can see my screen, right?
Not yet. It's still
loading.
Yeah, it's now we have it and we can see it properly.
Perfect, thank you. So as you can see, there are three organizations, AHK, IHK, DIHK. So a lot of HK, HK, HK in every word. And as Nick already mentioned, the IHKs are the German chambers in Germany. Actually, we have 79 German chambers of commerce and industry, which are member chambers of the DIHK. And as you can see, the DIHK itself is the Association of German Chambers of Commerce and Industry, the, as I said, umbrella association of IHKs, as well as the AHKs. So the DIHK actually coordinates the German chamber network abroad. As you can see, we do have German chambers of commerce abroad in 140 locations in 92 countries. That's a very broad network, expanding from Asia to Latin America, and you probably have been invited as well as a startup by the German chamber in your country. So we can see that this German chamber network has more than 470,000 members. They are actually German companies abroad as well as local companies. The German chamber network exists since, or for more than 127 years. So it's a very old chamber network. And yeah, you can count. So actually it was established in 1894. So very old network. And in this next slide, you can actually see all the locations where the German chambers are located. And this is actually the first contact point of German companies going abroad. However, as I already mentioned, the German chambers do have members. So if you're considering in becoming a member company of a German chamber, you will definitely find, or most probably find, a German chamber in your country. And here you can actually see all of them. I'm not going to read them out loud, but I think you get a good idea of yeah, the different locations. So we are based in Americas, in Africa, MENA region, in Europe, and in Asia, Oceania region, and in Europe, of course. So many contact points. And also within the German chamber network, we are definitely also cross-selling and always offering consultancy to German and local companies who are interested in German industry, German technology, German state-of-the-art approach. So you can yeah, find this very broad network. So the German chamber is not by itself when we're talking about the outside reach in different countries. There we call it like a triangle. The German chambers do always coordinate themselves with the embassy, the German embassy, and the GTAI, it's the German Trade and Invest Agency, helping German companies to make the best decisions where to invest and where to, for example, open a sales office and so on. However, the German chambers abroad do also very much focus on bringing experts of the different countries to Germany. For example, the German startup tour is one example. However, there are many delegations of experts from different countries coming to Germany. So if you're interested in a specific sector, a specific region in Germany, you can also always reach out to your German chamber in the specific country, and they will help establishing contact. I will also leave my contact details in the chat, so you can also reach out to me. And what are the strategic partners? I mentioned already some of them. However, there's also the GIZ. It's the German Development Agency. We do work very closely with them, and other trade associations, and yeah, GTI, the embassy, and our ministry with which we are working closely together here in Germany is the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Climate Action. So we do work closely with the government as well. We have a specific brand within the German Chamber network. It's called the International. And the German chambers do offer different services to German companies as well as local companies. So that might be interesting to you as well. If you want to enter the German market, you want to have contact details, you want some guidance concerning different activities, you can always reach out because the German chambers do offer these kind of services. Here you can see they organize trade fair delegations, they offer services concerning market entry. If you want to enter the German market, they're helping in communication since German is not a language everybody can speak, for example. Then in HR topics, law and taxes, bookkeeping, and all those services the German chambers can support. And here you can see, and that's my last slide, that the one institution, the German chamber has 3 functions in one institution. I mentioned the member, it's a member organization, so you can become a member of a German chamber abroad. You can also ask for guidance and consultancy concerning services, as I already mentioned. And the German chambers in the different countries are official representation of German economy abroad. So there's always, obviously, some sort of talking with the government of the different countries and so on. However, I think the German chamber network abroad is a very good entrance point and gateway also to have good contacts to Germany. And with this, I'm going to leave my contact details in the chat. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And I can already look in the chat, but you, Nick, will probably later on give some
indeed.
questions.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much, Kira, for your presentation. And I think we all now know what and what power the overall German chambers have, even locally in Germany and abroad. So the connections from Germany throughout the world and backwards are quite good, and therefore we are quite proud about this whole network we have. And yeah, so if you have further questions to Kira or later on, please write them in the chat. We are happy to answer them. And yeah, due to time, I would like to now hand over to our first spotlight. We are now seeing a presentation, an overview about Düsseldorf. It's the state capital of North Rhine-Westphalia. And for that reason, I will announce to the screen David Strauch from the Chamber of Industry and Commerce in Düsseldorf. And please, David, show us why or what is special about the state capital in North Rhine-Westphalia.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Nick. And warm welcome to everyone listening today. My name is David Strauch. You can just call me David because my last name is typically very hard to pronounce for non-Germans, so don't mind that. In the Chamber of Commerce in Düsseldorf, I'm responsible in my normal life for the regions, Greater China and the ASEAN region, but I'm also responsible for trends and innovation. So as a startup, I'm the correct partner if you want to call on us. And as Nick already mentioned, I want to give you a bit of a spotlight about Düsseldorf. I'm not from Düsseldorf, so it's always a bit weird for me when I talk about the city, but I have to say it feels weird sometimes, but I have to say I have a lot of good things to say about Düsseldorf because I moved here, and yeah, the city offers quite a lot, not only in terms of businesses, which we come to now, but also the lifestyle here in Düsseldorf is yeah, very, very livable city. We have a lot of great events throughout the year. So I just wanted to say that before I start, because yeah, it's really a good place to be also from a personal viewpoint. All right, let's get started. So the IHK Düsseldorf is kind of separated into two parts because, of course, we have the state capital Düsseldorf here with all the companies that are located there. But on the other hand, we are also responsible for the county of Mettmann, which is right next to it, as you can see on this map. So the yellow part is the county Mettmann and the blue part is the state capital Düsseldorf. And I have to say these two regions, they are quite yeah, diverse. They are not the same, really. They focus on different parts, but they complement each other very, very well. So the state capital Düsseldorf is all about the banking sector. We have a lot of companies there that are more focused on like the media part, marketing, banking, all these services. So really the service sector is very heavy in this area. And the Mettmann County is quite a bit the opposite. There we have a lot of companies that produce all kinds of parts for the trade in the whole world. And the county Mettmann is mainly focused on a lot of automotive sector, and they produce car parts that you might have in your pocket right now. So for example, the locking systems for your car, if you put that, pull that out of your pocket, look at it, most of the time there will be a company logo on it, which is actually here located in the Mettmann district county. So yeah, we have a very diverse region, and there's a lot to find when you come here as a startup. So for sure, there will be also something here for you to do. Yeah, so the state capital Düsseldorf is known throughout Germany, more or less, for trade, fashion, and the creative industry. Yeah, it's a really, really good place for these kind of innovations, and especially also the fashion industry is also big here. We have also big companies like, for example, L'Oreal. Let's talk about the area. How are we organized? Where can you find the IHK in this area? So as I said, due to this kind of split in our region, we have decided that we need more offices than just one to be really there for all the companies that are living in this area. So our main office is in Düsseldorf, of course. It's on the Ernst Schneider Platz. It's very, very central. So if you ever have problems, you can also meet me there in person. And also, if you need further information, for example, about the Mettmann County, if you say, okay, we are all about providing services, for example, for the automotive industry, you might want to check the second office out. And they have all the information, of course, about this Mettmann County. But of course, you can also reach out to me and I will get in contact with everyone you need. So yeah, don't hesitate to call me as the one-stop shop. Okay, so what else can we say about the Düsseldorf area? There are a lot of inhabitants, of course. 11.5 million inhabitants can be reached not in Düsseldorf, but if you drive 1 hour, in 1 hour, you can reach this kind of inhabitants and also a great population of like companies that you can reach in a very small time. Düsseldorf, like the whole area here, is really central in Europe, a very good location for Europe. We have an airport here. Within 1 hour, you can reach some of the biggest cities here in Europe, which also attract, of course, a lot of business. And yeah, here's really in this area, we have a big cluster of purchasing power also here in Europe. So it's a great area for doing business, not just in Düsseldorf, of course, but also in this area in general. So don't hesitate to reach out also to my colleagues, Nick Neidl and the others that will speak on later about their areas. Another big point of Düsseldorf is that we have a very famous trade exhibition location in Düsseldorf. And there are throughout the year very, very relevant exhibitions taking place. So for example, right now we have the K exhibition, which also attracts a lot of people every year. So it's definitely worth, if you are in the area, to check out the exhibition. There's always something to see, and yeah, it's just a very great place. I love to go there. Yeah, then Düsseldorf in numbers. So we have a big retail industry here in Düsseldorf as well. We have the Kö, which is the Königsallee here in Düsseldorf, which is one of our the most exclusive shopping miles in this area. We have a lot of trade companies, retailers, wholesalers here. So whatever you need, we most likely have it. Yes, and of course, the working population here is also very great. We have also a lot of traders, as you can see here. But of course, Düsseldorf is also a university, and we have a lot of migration here to Düsseldorf. So we have one of the greatest Japanese populations outside of Japan here in Düsseldorf, and also other populations from Asia are very big here. So we have two big streets in Düsseldorf, which are focused mainly on Asian business. So there are a lot of Asian restaurants and also other specialized places. Then we are also very big in the digital economy. Some of the biggest digital providers in Germany are based here in Düsseldorf, for example, Vodafone and Telekom. And we also have other big digital companies that moved here to Düsseldorf due to this competitive advantages. For example, the Chinese provider Huawei has a big office here in Düsseldorf due to this central location. All right. As my colleague Nick already said, you can, of course, always reach out to them. But if you have specific questions about Düsseldorf, you can always contact me. I will also share my information into the chat, but I'm aware this is also recorded, so you can always go back and look at it. And if you are interested in the presentation, you can also, of course, contact me via the email address shown below, and I will be happy to share the presentation with you. Thank you so much, and I'm happy to give back to our host, Nick.
Yeah, thank you very much, David. Yeah, as you can see, Düsseldorf, wonderful city, big benefits for starting a business there, really a livable city. David, would you stop sharing your screen? That would be,
of course.
That would be nice, so that our next speaker will is able to attend at this meeting. Julia Nipex from the Chamber of Industry and Commerce in the city of Duisburg, so the Lower Rhine region, as I already have mentioned before. She will give you a brief introduction about the Ruhr area. And I'm locally from the Ruhr area, so I'm more excited what you will see about the Ruhr area. So please, Julia, the screen is yours. I think you need to turn on your microphone. Yeah, perfect.
I just did. I hope you now. So welcome from my side as well. I'm Julia from the Chamber of Commerce and Industry located in Duisburg. So from the very western part of our rural area. And together with my colleagues from all the other rural areas, Chamber of Commerce and Industry Essen, Chamber of Commerce and Industry Bochum, Chamber of Commerce and Industry Dortmund, together we form the Ruhr Chambers of Commerce and Industry. And now it's my turn to tell you a little bit of our big metropolis right in the heart. We are the industrial heartland of NRW and Germany. So what are we about? We are 53 cities across 3,900 square kilometers with 5.13 million inhabitants. It's one of the biggest metropolitan regions in Europe. 155,000 companies are located in our area. We are one of the biggest spots for universities and universities of applied science in Germany. 22 universities and universities of applied sciences with 400 study programs and 254,000 students can be found here in our area. I can now tell you a lot of hard facts, but it's rather better to see some pictures, and therefore I brought a little video. I hope you can see YouTube now.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I also think that you need to have take an editing when starting your screen, because you need to click 2 buttons so that the music and so on can be played. I have the YouTube video still open, so if you don't mind, I could.
You can share as
well. Yeah, or try it if we hear the music, it will work, I guess. Yeah, it seems. Yeah, it seems that's the music from your computer.
So you rather want to share it?
Yeah, I think it will work then a bit better, because then we can hear.
Then it's now up to you, Nick. I'm sorry that Nick needs to take over.
No problem at all. So yeah, let's see what I have here. I need to try it anew, because I also forget to click on the 2 buttons. So now I guess it should work.
We're Germany's biggest city. We're an industrial city. And with the world's biggest inland port, we're naturally also a port city. We're a capital of culture. We're the city that never rests. And we're the city that never sleeps. Sorry, New York. We're a city with experts in every field. And we're a university city. With 290,000 students and lots of space for every one of them. But is this here a city at all? Absolutely. We're more than 5 million people, over 150,000 companies, 200 cultures. We are not just one city. We are 53 cities. We are a metropolis. We are the city of cities. Metropolis Ruhr.
Eine ordentliche.
All right, so back to you, Julia.
Now I can continue. Great. I will just start sharing my screen again. So you saw a lot of great pictures about our Ruhr area. We have identified 9 lead markets that are very, very prominent here. One of them is the new digital communication. It's mobility. Well, when you have 3,900 square kilometers, mobility is quite a thing here. As we are the industrial heartland of Germany, we have our industrial core, which is many, many different industries. It started with coal, where our roots are. There isn't any coal anymore here, but we have a lot of other different industries like energy, chemistry, engineering, new digital clusters. There's a big lead market in healthcare. One of those 22 universities is a university for health. We have urban construction and housing. Well, we need to house more than 5 million people here. We have resource efficiency, which is quite in common with our history in energy. And there is a huge sector in education and knowledge. Knowledge-based services and industries are very, very common across our whole area. We are the city that never sleeps, so leisure and events are one of the lead markets as well. And last but not least, sustainable consumption. Who supports you as startups here in the rural area? Besides us as Chambers of Commerce and Industry, for sure, we have a lot of startup supporting centers at our universities. For example, Guide in Duisburg and Essen, World Factory in Bochum, Start Local in Kamp-Lintfort, the Center for Entrepreneurship and Transfer in Dortmund, or HRW startups in Bottrop. Startport, they are an incubator and accelerator for logistics here in my hometown in Duisburg, as we have one of the biggest ports. There's Brick, located in Essen, which hosts a lot of incubators for startups like the H2Up you can see here, or ChemStars, who support startups within chemistry, and a lot more. We have Fab Labs and makerspaces. You can see the pictures here. The makerspace in Bochum, Fab Labs. We have circular digital economy Fab Labs, or a green Fab Lab supporting sustainability. So overall, who are we as Spotlight? We are history, we are industry, we are culture, we are greener than you might think for an industrial region. We are modern and we are the future. So thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, please ask them in the answers in the chat so we can answer them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julia. Perfect. So yeah, now you have seen that Aurora is quite a big metropolis with lots of different companies and institutions. So quite a big metropolis area, and yeah, quite exciting and maybe interesting for you setting up a business there. And but now I do not want to talk more about the beautiful rural area. Sorry for that. And I will now hand over to my colleague from the Chamber of Industry and Commerce in Cologne, Mr. Matthias Herrchen, and he will give you now an introduction about Cologne. And yeah, why Cologne? Is it just the famous cathedral?
Yeah, right. Thank you, Nick. Just a question in advance. So streams on YouTube don't work perfectly, is that right? So I would skip mine, for example. Nick?
Well, you can share it. It's just a matter of editing. So if you click on sharing your screen, and then you can select the windows you want to, and at the bottom there you can see two different sections where you need to click. So Tone, so in German, Ton wiedergeben, Video optimieren. Yeah. There you have to click on it, and then it will be able to.
Maybe I skip it. Well, so I have just to get it. You see my presentation now?
Yes, we can see that.
Great.
Perfect.
So excellent. Yes, so welcome to Cologne. Last not least, the oldest city here, one of the oldest cities in North Rhine-Westphalia. And it's not only just about the famous cathedral. Cologne is one of Germany's startup hotspot. Besides, my name is Matthias Herrchen. I'm from, of course, the Cologne Chamber of Commerce in Cologne. But of course, it starts all with the cathedral. Anybody who hasn't seen it right now, here is one beautiful picture all over Cologne. And it's really like, if you get lost in Cologne, just ask for the cathedral and you will get the right direction. But Cologne is also a thriving economic hub on the Rhine. Where is it located? It's like whole North Rhine-Westphalia. So this big dot for Cologne in the middle stands for North Rhine-Westphalia. As my colleague said before, it's really in the middle of Europe, within all the capitals of commerce and capitals of the nations you can see here. It's all about statistics, of course, some, but only a few I would like to stress out. We are the biggest metropole here in North Rhine-Westphalia with 1.1 million inhabitants, 17 million in the metropolitan area. And yeah, my colleague said it before, 100 million Europeans within an hour flight. We have 3 airports close to Cologne, so there should be one connection that's right for you as well. We are also an academic location, one of the biggest, I think the 3rd biggest academic location in Germany, with 22 higher education institutions like universities with more than 100,000 students and 18 research centers. But just as a short glimpse at the Cologne clusters, the sectors that are most important here in Cologne. Of course, the industrial the companies are very important for the economic development here in Cologne. You see Ford, you see Toyota, but there's also the European Space Agency, and the German Air and Space Agency, DLR, as well. So we are also big in space traveling. Yeah. We have a very huge fintech, or better insurtech sector here. I don't know if you know these insurances, but some of them are quite famous. But I leave it for your research. If you have any questions on this sector, just ask, and we will answer you immediately, of course. We are one of 2 big or biggest media and sectors here in Cologne with Berlin. So we have a lot of studios here as well. BBC's here, EA Sports, Warner Brothers, you name it. Here you will find a lot of creative industries and media companies as well. Also, health and life sciences is very important here in the area. For example, Bayer has its global head here in Leverkusen, which is a neighbor town of Cologne and part of our CCI area. And a very fascinating fact, they are just starting their next live hub. They have several live hubs, but only a few, I think, under 10 all over the world. And one of their live hubs will be opened shortly in Leverkusen, right at the front gate, if you can say so, of Cologne. And they are focused on green tech, agriculture, crop tech here at this site, at this live hub. And last not least, also we have a lot of ICT companies here as well. But I think they are all over the world. So it's a big sector here, economical sector, but not the only one. If you would like to connect with startups here, there are 2 links I just would like to give you. The one is Startup Map Cologne, startup-map.cologne. There you will find all accelerators, all institutions that are consulting, giving you advice in starting up your business, in visa matters, and so on and so forth. So explore the Cologne startup ecosystem on Startup Map Cologne. There you can see we have 528 startups listed there. They are only the listed ones, but we have many more. And as long as we have counted correctly, we have 396 rounds of funding in the last few years. There's also a North Rhine-Westphalian startup map. You can see the link down there, startups.nrw. Once again, startups.nrw. There you will find the startups listed all over North Rhine-Westphalia, 1,916 at the moment, and the number is still rising. But this is all about advertising, more or less. So I could close my presentation already with name dropping, fact dropping. We are the biggest city, the biggest founder hotspot in North Rhine-Westphalia. We have an excellent infrastructure. There are a lot of motorways, airports, railway, and water routes here through Cologne. What's more important for you, or might be more important for you if you are in B2B models, we have over 200,000 companies and self-employed people here in the city and around the city. So this is quite a hotspot for B2B business models. We have excellent IT infrastructures, and we count ourselves or name ourselves as being part of the Rhine-Ruhr region. So everything my colleagues said before is within 1 hour reach, and this is really a big advantage of North Rhine-Westphalia here. But I prepared a stream as well, but I think I can do it with some nice pictures, giving you an impression, and that's the USP of Cologne. We have the word Cologne is a feeling, or in German, Köln ist ein Gefühl. That means Cologne is a feeling. And why is that? Cologne, the name is coming from Latin colonia, which means colony. So we are, since our very first roots, the very first beginnings of Cologne, we are dependent on immigrants, and they are Cologne citizens within a finger snap. They become Cologne citizens. We are very open-hearted to everybody who would like to join here, to come to Germany or North Rhine-Westphalia. Here are some impressions. As an example, I have chosen this one from the Cologne Opera. So the cultural sectors and ecosystem is very vibrant as well. We have a chocolate museum. I get hungry if I see that. We have a very high standard of living. Here, for example, a very famous quarter, the Belgian Quarter, with a lot of pubs, with a lot of parks, and green within the middle of the town. We have a very big fair. It's within the top 10 fairs globally spoken. The top picture is showing you the entrance right now, and the picture below is what it's going to be in the closer future, because it's they're growing and expanding, and this is how it's going to be in the future. We're also popular or famous for our people, very open-hearted. They love to chit-chat, and here are two fictional characters. We have built a monument for that. They are Tünnes and Scherl arguing, but in a friendly way. And fun fact, if you rub one of the noses of them, you might get lucky by that. We have we are one origin globally of the love locks. I bet you know that from all over the world, meanwhile, but the Hohenzollern Bridge is full of these love locks. They are locked there by couples to swear everlasting love. So it's very nice to see and to visit. And we'll have a lot of recreational areas nearby. This is the Bergisch County, not Bergisch, yeah, I don't know how to say it. Bergisches Land. It's a county in the east of Cologne. There are mountains and valleys. It's really beautiful, a lot of green, and it's all within, I would say, reach of 1 hour or half an hour to drive there. And what could be the best than startup testimonials? I would like to stress out the first one and the last one. For me, Cologne embodies more than any other startup location the union of innovation, energy, self-confidence, down-to-earthness, and of course, a lot of fun. And the last word, you can read it, Cologne is simply charming. I think this is explaining a lot, and that's why Cologne has a unique selling proposition, if I can say so. It's fascinating, really. I'm not born here, but from another country in Germany, but we say I'm an immigrant, but I feel as a Cologne citizen. I skip that stream because you would like to know, of course. And Nick, I just continue if you are satisfied with that.
Yeah,
okay?
Absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So I can tell you a lot about Cologne, about Germany and Northern Westphalia. But for you, I think it's more important. How can you come here? How can you become a Northern Westphalian? So I can say once again, welcome to our CCI or CIC. Some use it the other way around. The Chambers of Industry and Commerce, or the Chambers of Commerce and Industry. It's more or less the same. So your next steps on your way to Northern Westphalia should start at one of the Chambers of Industry and Commerce, of course, because we support you from your very first steps here in Germany. And if you know already where you would like to start your business here or your location here, it's easy to go just to the chamber responsible for that area, and you immediately get will find your contact persons to accompany you in your way to establish business here. And if you don't know exactly where you find your Chamber of Commerce of your area, it's very simple. Just choose the link down there, www.ihk.de, and you will find your Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Some short facts about the chambers. I skipped that a little bit because Nick told you a lot about the Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Oh, that was too quick. I think important is we have a corporate identity, so everybody who is looking for the industrial or the Chamber of Industry and Commerce in his area or her area, just look for that logo there. That's a common corporate brand all over Germany. Fun fact, we are one of the oldest continuously existing German Chamber of Commerce and Industry. But the roots of the chambers here in Germany reach back to the 15th century. I think Bremen has the very first Chamber of Commerce and Industry. What's also important, we have a compulsory membership. I have to talk about that very shortly because everybody's every enterprise is member of a regional chamber, and it's because it enables the chamber to represent the interests of all members equally. So I mentioned Bayer before, and because Bayer is a very big company globally speaking, it's having not more impact than, let's say, a book merchant at the corner of the street. This is really very important because most of the German companies are small and medium-sized. I think around 60–70% have up to 20 employees, and so it's really what we call the German Mittelstand. It's because important to know and to understand how German economy is made by small and medium-sized companies. And the compulsory membership guarantees the Chamber's neutrality and independency, which is also very important. If you are looking for advice and consulting, we can give you the whole picture to the limits. I can come in a few minutes. We have 3 pillars of chamber work. I'm skipping through this a little bit. Nick mentioned a little bit before. We have some tasks assigned by law. We represent our members' interests, and we have a lot of services. And this is, I would like to focus on a little bit, because this is important for you. How to, what can you expect from your German, from your Chamber of Industry and Commerce? As I said before, we are primarily for small and medium-sized enterprises, startups, and companies information on, and deliver the services for them. And we really mean it by heart. It's really like if you are starting with having an idea and you don't get it into a business model, we start with our help immediately. So to give you structure, to develop your company together with you, and to bring it as strong as possible into the market. And we have a lot of specialists, and most of our services are for free. So this is really a big support. Don't miss it to contact us. Examples, as I said before, so it starts with a startup unit. So every IHK or Chamber of Industry and Commerce has a kind of startup unit. And we are helping you in founding and funding your business from your very first business idea or business model, as I said before. But also, if you would come to Germany, would like to come to Germany, it's like starting once again. So you have to choose your location. You have to know where are good partners for you, and so on and so forth. And this is something we deliver for German startups and founders, as well as for you coming to Germany. We are sparring partners in questions of finances, public subsidies and grants. So this is really one point. We don't have to look for provision or to revenues. We are neutral, and therefore we can give you the whole picture you need for your decision making. We give you information. We inform you on immigration and visa matters, legal information and advice, tax matters, customs regulation, which might come in handy for you to know what to do to get your products here to Germany, and further information, consulting, and networks. You name it, most probably we have it. I'll skip that as well. I think you can have a look at the YouTube video about the Chambers in Commerce. Please let me stress out, it's not just promoting our services. It's really, we mean it. We are here for you, and our neutrality gives us all the possibilities to support you in the way you need it, not like we need it. The first step, coming to Germany, you have made already. You have been contacted or contacted yourself, the AHKs, the global network of German Chambers of Commerce abroad. I skipped that as well. Kira has made an excellent presentation on that. And also just a short picture or spot on our association of German Chambers of Commerce and Industry, the DIHK, which isn't exactly the roof organization, but it's the central organization connecting all the opinions of the IHKs and reaching for the goal of good framework conditions for successful business in Berlin. So, as I said before, I highly recommend, of course, to contact your Chamber of Industry and Commerce for your area, but We can provide you with research databases, with trade associations, but what's also very important, if you come to Germany, here's a central link for all the trade fairs in Germany, auma.de. I repeat, auma.de. There you will find all the trade fairs in Germany. We have we have a strong municipal economic development agency here all over Germany. So it's also worth to contact the municipal administration near your in your town. And here's one of our partners of the Startup Germany tour as well. It's NRW Global Business, the trade and investment agency of NRW. Yeah, there you will find a lot of information in English as well. So they are partners of us in getting you as strong and safe to Germany as possible. And of course, another partner for doing the same more or less for Germany, for whole Germany, the German Trade and Invest. But there's we try to make it as comfortable and easy for you to come to Germany, but there are some challenges you should know when you come to Germany, because of course you are trying to establish business here. That means you need solid, strong, and relationships very quickly. That's why I hope you contacted the Startup Germany tour for. But as I've written here, cultural differences can cause a lot of misunderstandings, and you can avoid them. So it's important to know how we are really thinking and acting in Germany. This is a part which is very difficult for me personally, because some of those attributes they are connected with Germans are not my favorites to know. But I cannot deny it. There is a lot of truth in that. So let's start with directness and openness. It's at least it's said we are very direct, focused on business, on our goal, and in acting and doing so, we don't avoid confrontation, which doesn't mean if we are arguing with you or you get in a struggle of argumentation, it's not like we are going to destroy the relationship by that. It's vice versa. It's a kind of estimation of worth. If we are arguing with you, it means we are trying to reach a goal together with you. It's not like breaking up the relationship. Of course, punctuality is connected with the Germans. I don't know why, but punctuality and structure is very important as well. So if you are having an appointment, make sure that no traffic jam that will hinder you to be punctual. It's not an excuse allowed in German business to say, I'm sorry, there was a traffic jam, because we have traffic jam every time. So you have to count on it. There might be a traffic jam, and to be punctual in spite of getting into a traffic jam. So ensure to be punctual. And if you present your business, if you have a business presentation, be sure it's structured very well, as as I said before. Here it said we like to do one task after another, and we are not able to do multitasking. Just make your experience and be prepared that it might be so. Don't confront us with too many problems at one time. Do it one task after another. I just let it like this. But of course, we have preference for clear rules, lack of spontaneity. That's why we have so many laws in Germany. It's really one of the biggest law compendia all over the world. especially, for example, tax rules or tax law is very complicated, but we have laws for everything, really. Yeah, we are task-orientated, more task-orientated than relationship-orientated. That might be very important for you, because sometimes it might happen that you contact an investor or a business partner that just asks you facts and figures and doesn't want to talk about your team you have. And I know it personally that in other regions in the world, it's more like a good team or an excellent team can start up a bad business idea successfully, but other way around, it doesn't work. So bad team won't be successful. It's changing a little bit, especially in the startup ecosystem. We are looking on the more and more on the team, but it might happen that if you have a more traditional thinking company you would like to win as an investor or partner, it might be that they only look on facts and figures. And be sure, if you want to establish business and you have, would like to close your lead, the contract, be sure that you have precise written agreements. That's the point where you should contact lawyers, of course. That's it for now. I hope I could give you some impressions how you can come to Germany, what you should be aware of. And yeah, I would like to welcome you in Cologne. And this is one failure I've made. I forgot to add my personal contact data. So it's Matthias Herrchen. I think you will find me on the website of the Startup German Tour as well. But if you look for the startup unit of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Cologne, you will find me definitely. So let's see in Cologne, let's see in North Rhine-Westphalia. We would love to see you here.
Yeah, thank you, Matthias. And yeah, I think now you have a good introduction, a good impression what Cologne, what you can expect in Cologne, and yeah, when coming to Germany, and what culture and the pitfalls are. So when I look in the questions sector, there will be two questions for you, Matthias. One question is, if you have any information about the average hour cost of SW development in Cologne. I'm not quite sure what SW development means.
Couldn't get that thing. I have no idea at the moment. Maybe you can.
Okay, he's writing again. I mean the price that local companies are practicing nowadays.
Oh, that's something that is so individual. There's no average figure I can name on that.
Software development.
Okay.
Was it?
SD. I would suggest that you contact me afterwards because I have to know. There's no average figure on that neither. That we have a look on your business model, and I can give you more data or frame at least where you have to think about what you have to think about that. Would that be okay for you?
Yeah, I think just reach out to. Yeah, it is okay for him.
For that also, I would like to mention we have also a specialist for digitization, so he would be the man of your choice, I would say, to get figures on that.
Great. One last question, I guess, and then we finish. Can you speak a bit about local demand in Cologne for Industry 4.0?
Local demand, like you mean good sites?
Yeah, for solutions. So Industry 4.0 solution, because I guess the Pro Hauser startup is active in the Industry 4.0 solution area. So do you have an overall impression what the demand is for such solutions?
Demand, You mean like regulation or something like that, or better as opportunity? I would like to know.
It
Because
seems opportunity. So
yeah,
what is the demand for
I
the
would say so.
companies
Yeah.
to get such?
I mean, building here in Germany, of course, as I mentioned before, has to face a lot of laws. But for example, here in Cologne, we have a PropTech powerhouse. It's called. It's a network and consulting agency supporting you in getting here with everything connected with building 4.0. We have a lot of building companies here in Cologne. That's why we established this PropTech powerhouse. These companies really support this network, and they are in there. You can connect them there, and they are eager to develop. Yeah, not only Cologne, every town in Germany, of course, but in Cologne we have a lot of older houses built after the Second World War, but very quickly, very fast, and with a lot of need to renewal and to build new ones. So at the moment, you can't drive through Cologne without facing obstruction in building site. So this is an excellent ground for new developments and also renovating old houses, but also building new ones, and to, for example, to try printed material on building houses. That's one of our, you can find companies already doing so, printing tiles and material for houses. And we have the University of Applied Science, which is very big in materials as well. And if that doesn't satisfy you, within 1 hour reach, there's Aachen with a RWTH. It's a University of Applied Science as well, one of an excellence university all over the world, and they are big in materials and building 4.0 as well. So I'm speaking for Germany or for North Rhine-Westphalia, especially. The whole Rhine-Ruhr area is very old, so here is a lot of construction sites, and it's an excellent place to be to do a lot of things with building 4.0. One last aspect. The government of North Rhine-Westphalia is installing an impact initiative, and building is one of the biggest topics there, because there are many problems with old houses here. I hope this is giving you a first glimpse on this aspect. If you have more concrete or precise questions on that, I can connect you with the PropTech powerhouse. So this is not only doing business in Cologne, but for the whole region of North Rhine-Westphalia as well.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Matthias, and thank you also to David, to Julia, and also to Kira for your presentation and your spotlight. And yeah, I will leave it here, and I would close now this webinar. So if you have further questions, please write them to our colleagues. The contact details are easy to find either on the Startup Germany Tour website or here in the chat. So thank you very much for all of you who joined our webinar, and so that's the end of our exploring phase. And next week, or actually this Sunday, we are starting with our Startup Germany Tour main program. So all of you who are part at the Startup Germany Tour or participants, please, we would be happy to see you on Sunday evening with our first digital event. So
may I make
yes.
one last recommendation, because if you want to get into touch with us, please send us hopefully your pitch deck and a list of your questions you would like to get answered. It's the easiest way to get in touch with us, and we can distribute it and forward it to the specialists we have in our companies, in our chambers. So don't hesitate to contact us with your pitch deck and a list of questions, and we answer that immediately.
That's a good hint. Perfect. Thank you,
last one thought.
Matthias. Yeah.
You're welcome.
So have a nice day. See you soon. And many of you on Sunday evening. Bye bye. Have a nice day.